The HALDEN prison is a maximum security prison in Halden, Norway. It's the second largest prison in Norway and was established in 2010 with a focus on rehabilitation. What's really unique about this prison is that its design simulates life outside the prison. Let's just say that this prison seems like it's more about rejuvenation than rehabilitation. Compared to most prisons around the world in underdeveloped and developing nations, HALDEN prison is a long luxury vacation. Sports and music are available to prisoners, who interact with the unarmed staff to make them feel like they're part of a community. HALDEN prison has been praised for its humane conditions and received the Arnstein Arnberg Award for its interior design in 2010, and has also been the subject of a documentary. However, it's also received criticism for being too liberal. As a maximum security prison, it houses both dangerous and highly dangerous criminals, such as rapists, murderers, and child molesters. The prison is home to both domestic and international criminals. As only around 3/5 of the prison are Norwegian, both Norwegian and English are used, and the prison has English teachers. Nevertheless, it's essential to be fluent in Norwegian to live in C8, since group and individual counseling is conducted in Norwegian. There are no conventional security devices such as barbed tape, electric fences, towers, or snipers. However, there is safety glass, a 20-foot concrete and steel wall, and a system of tunnels which guards use to walk through the prison. Although surveillance cameras are present on the prison grounds, they aren't present in the cells, the cell hallways, the common rooms, the classrooms, or most of the workshops. While there is little reported violence, officers try to prevent it. The project was designed with a focus on rehabilitation in order to simulate a village in which the prisoners could consider themselves a part of society. The government believes that the smaller the difference between life inside and outside a prison, the easier it'll be to transition from prison to freedom. The interiors are painted to emphasize the differences between home, school, and the workplace. In designing the prison's interiors, the architects tried to separate the internal buildings so that the prisoners could walk, which would strengthen their connection with the outside world. The hallways have Moroccan tiles, large-scale photographs of daffodils or Parisian streets. Rather than concrete, the exterior walls are composed of bricks, galvanized steel, and larchwood. The kiln-fired bricks were black and red, inspired by the surroundings. Birch, blueberry, and pine trees are some of the natural life that contribute to rehabilitation. It's remarkable to think that this is actually a prison and not a luxury resort. The steel, which is a hard metal, represents detention, while the lark, which is a soft material, represents rehabilitation and growth. In addition to the graffiti painting, the yard walls and toilet doors are decorated by Norwegian artist Doke, which was ordered by the prison. Each prison cell is 110 square feet and has a flat-screen television, desk, mini-fridge, toilet with shower, an unbarred vertical window that lets in more light. Every 10 to 12 cells share a common area with a kitchen and living room. The kitchen has stainless steel silverware, porcelain plates, and a dining table. And the living room has a modular couch and a dining table. While the prison provides food, prisoners can also purchase ingredients from its grocery store and cook their own meals. 12 hours a day, prisoners are locked in their cells, but they are encouraged to spend more time outside. The activities house is open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and there are practices on jogging trails and a football field. Woodworking, cooking, and music classes are also offered. At the mixing studio, the inmates may record music and a monthly program broadcast by the local radio station. There's also a library with books, magazines, CDs, and DVDs, a gym with a rock climbing wall, and a chapel. Prisoners receive questionnaires asking how their prison experience could be improved. The inmates are allowed to see their families, partners, and friends privately twice a week for 2 hours. Single-person visits can be made in individual rooms containing a sofa, sink, cupboard with sheets, towels, and condoms. There is a larger room with toys and a baby-changing facilities for families. Prisoners can lose their rights to private visits if illegal items are found after visits. This right is not granted to high-risk criminals and visitors with histories of drug offenses. The prison also has a separate chalet-style house where prisoners can receive visits from family members and stay with them for 24 hours. In addition to the kitchen, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom are located in the living room with a dining table and sofa. There's also an outdoor play area with toys. Foreigners cannot enter the facility, and inmates must complete a child development education program in order to have 24-hour-long visits. British Channel 5 broadcasts a 45-minute documentary about HALDEN, titled World's Most Luxurious Prison in November 2020. BASTOY Prison is a low-security prison on BASTOY Island, Norway. Located in the Horten municipality, the prison is an island and holds 115 inmates, making it the largest low-security prison in Norway. The governor of the prison leads a staff of 69 prison employees. Of this staff, only 5 employees remain on the island overnight. The prison is about an hour's commuting distance from Oslo. The facility was once a prison colony for young boys and is now trying to become the first ecological prison in the world. Relapsing rates have been reported at 16% compared to the European average of around 70%. The inmates are housed in wooden cottages and work on the prison farm. During their leisure time, inmates are provided with horseback riding, fishing, tennis, and cross-country skiing. The only access to the prison is via a ferry departing from Horten. Bastoy Island, once home to a brutal reformatory, is now the site of the progressive Bastoy prison, founded in 1982. Inmates must apply to serve their time on the island. Applications are turned down if officials think that the prisoner is a danger. There has only been one attempted escape in the 41 years the prison has been operating. The prisoners know how easy it is to escape and fear the consequences of doing so. Inmates on Bastoy stay in simple wooden cabins, complete with comfortable furnishings and televisions. Many people work on the island farm or train for a new job. Others include a library and a church, but inmates are encouraged to spend their leisure time outside. There are many cross-country skiers during the winter. There's even a soccer field. The only strict rules are that prisoners are required to work in exchange for a stipend that can be spent in the prison shop, and that all inmates must check in several times per day. While critics claim that there is little difference between Bastoy and the holiday camp, there's one undeniable truth. The Norwegian prison system works. Norway's recidivism rate after 2 years is approximately 20%, which is many times lower than the United States. On the flip side of things, there's Sukamiskin Penitentiary, a prison in Bandung, West Java, that holds corrupt public officials from affording cash-rich inmates perks that sort of undermine the whole point of doing time. On a regular day, the prison isn't very remarkable, but when the powerful are imprisoned, they have the means to make it their own. Investigators with the Anti-Graft Agency, or KPK, discovered that Fahmi Darwanmansha and Andri Ramat were living in what could only be described as well-appointed apartments inside the prison. For those hot jailhouse days, the pair each had a flat-screen television, a water heater, a microwave, and air conditioners. Inmates who wanted to upgrade their prison lifestyle could give the warden and his staff expensive gifts, cash, cars, jewelry, and so on, in exchange for all the luxuries they could fit inside their cell. For the stuff that couldn't fit, they can always spend their afternoons on the other side of prison walls, provided they promise to return. It just showed what everyone has known all along, that the system is set up to favor the rich and corrupt. The typical cost for a cell renovation typically costs between 200 and 500 million rupiah, which is between $13,800 to $34,500. Before his death by firing squad in 2016, Indonesian drug kingpin Freddy Budiman renovated his prison cell and was even giving a ruang asmara, or a love room. Every time he had a sexual urge, he had the money to make it happen. It wasn't a secret. Before he was caught and sentenced to death, Freddy continued to run his drug empire from behind bars, once successfully broking the import of more than 1 million ecstasy pills. Tommy Suharto, known as the Sendana Prince, also outfitted his prison cell with flat-screen TVs, wall-to-wall carpeting, and a plush L-shaped sofa. Similar stories have leaked out of the prisons. It's reported that bribery and corruption are a normal part of life behind bars, even down to small things like getting access to your favorite foods or a hot shower.